Going live. All right. Yes, I think we're on number 3 now. Yeah. I can't get
Number 12.
12. Okay. Yeah, because I want to get to the 4th quiz. This is one like we're gonna have some fun here. So let's start talking about Moses. Number 12. Joseph into Egypt. True or false? The Ishmaelite took Joseph to Israel. I don't think so. Wasn't it the Egyptians?
The Israelites took Joseph to Israel.
Yeah, because he was thrown into the well by Reuben convinced everybody to throw Joseph down the well, and then Judah was like, "Hey, there's a caravan. Let's just sell him as a slave."
Mm-hmm.
But he was sold into slave into Egypt.
Yeah,
So,
not to Israel.
so I'm gonna say the Egyptians, not the Ishmaelites. Let's see the answer. False. Oh wait. Oh, it's to Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch
He
that.
said to Israel.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like one of those questions. You guys hear that before? How long was Moses in the ark during the flood? Have you guys heard that question before?
How long was Moses?
In the flood in the ark during the flood.
Moses?
Moses.
Right.
Wow.
Normally we're like 40 days and 40 nights, but it's like we're talking about Moses. Yeah, it's one of those questions.
So what's wrong with the question?
Moses wasn't in the ark; it was Noah. Oh, for here?
Yeah, number 12.
He wasn't sold to Israel. He was sold to Egypt. Israel was where they already were.
Well, you did say false.
I said false because I didn't think it was the Ishmaelites, but I was wrong because it was the Ishmaelites. It just wasn't Israel. Okay, question 13. Or, yeah.
Pharaoh dreamt of the same number of fat cows, thin cows, good years of corn, and thin years of corn. How many were there each time? 12?
I think it's 7.
7.
I think.
I think the only reason why I know is because I watched the
Oh, the movie?
Mm-mm.
The animated series?
no, the play.
Oh, Sights and Sound. Yeah. Sights and Sound, yeah. Let's see. Yep, 7. Good. Actually, how was that? It was good? Okay.
All of them are actually very Broadway solid.
Esther wasn't that good. We went to see it
Mm,
last year. It wasn't that good. I mean, we didn't think it was that good.
the storyline, it has less action, right?
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, not only the less action, but it's like
갑자기 혼자서 막 웃어. He laughing 갑자기. 왜 웃어? 그 디렉터님. 히스토리컬이 너무 웃기게 지금 막 갑자기 이상한 왕이 나왔지.
yeah, there was you remember there was Ezra the scribe there, and Ezra doesn't show up until like. Oh no, Ezra shows up before Esther, but they try to include him as like a cameo.
카메오로 했어요.
Oh, but he doesn't show up. He's dead by the time Esther is like happening,
잘못하면 confuse 될 것 같아.
or maybe not dead, but yeah, because he was the first wall guy.
No, for sure. It's a play, so they have to
Right.
add in something that's not mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
I forgot which one, but I remember. Oh, this is all like added extra stuff. Like this is not in the Bible.
No, but I think, and so the reason why I want to do it so much is even a lot of the church members that's been here for a long time, they're not familiar with the story.
Yeah.
So at least if they see it, there's something to work with. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I agree. That's why I remember all of this.
Yeah. Okay, James, number 14.
Which of Jacob's sons did Joseph keep in Egypt when his remaining brothers returned to Jacob? Oh man, it was the youngest one.
Mm-hmm.
B.
I don't know the name.
I mean, yeah, you're right though. It was the
I
youngest
know the
one.
youngest one.
Yeah.
And I left him to play.
Yeah. That's good. It's Benjamin. Yeah.
This is rigged. It's all rigged.
Benjamin. That's right.
No, but that's why it's so good because like, yeah. So even because unfortunately, like even church members don't read the Bible, but at least if they go see the play, then they're familiar with like the story enough where you can work with what they know, and then
신광 should have an 암송. Is it 암송 대회?
They have
Right.
it.
It's in September. They have it, but you know,
너 할래? 도전?
해봤어요.
it's like 68 verses,
가족이랑-
right, or something like that.
You did here before?
아니요.
아, 다른 데서?
딴
근데 he did recite.
You want to represent EM? Sounds like
Wait,
EM
68 verses?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it's
a lot.
doable.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
it is.
안 어렵다고?
And it's
아니,
doable.
음.
So like 할 수는 있는 만큼.
아 진짜?
예.
It's a lot.
어.
근데
그거
아니
썼구나.
뭐
음.
애써야 되죠. 그런데
그쵸,
it's,
애써야
it's nothing like a whole book.
Right. Like
Yeah.
the entire book of Mark or something.
Yeah, no. I don't think 60 is
근데
fair.
북한에 가는 사람들은
Right.
그걸 진짜 다 외워서 가면 되잖아.
They have to.
You know? 들어봤지? 이거 들고 가면 잡히니까.
예, 당연하죠.
음.
막 교회-
대단하다.
교회 속에서 하는 건데 그거 잡혀도
북한에서 예배드는
어,
사람은
그죠.
life and death.
진짜. 탁 하면 바로 나온대. 어떤
Usually this
성경
thing,
구절이. 근데 외우는 게 참 좋아.
이게 막 national thing이에요?
뭐라고?
막 신광 is it like a domestic thing for 신광 the 암송대회?
Yeah.
어. 갑자기 북한 얘기하니까 막
No.
나라들이 다 이거
오는 거죠.
No,
It's like
no,
올림픽. 예,
No, she's
올림픽.
saying that
우리
even
하자,
for the
나중에.
Bible, you need to have it memorized so
Yeah.
you can tell
Right.
people.
Okay. Yeah, well, good.
우리끼리야. 근데 그거 하면 무슨 상 줘요? 프라이즈?
Yes, and the first three places have the best prizes. What I heard.
1, 2, 3.
Probably like MacBook, iPad, something.
진짜?
I think so. It's supposed to be really good.
It was done last year, right?
하자. 하자. 파이팅.
사모님이랑 아니면 혼자
But it's already August 11th,
Right.
September, so
왜? 아, 시간이 없다고요?
시간이
할 것 같은데. 99년생이야. Very youngest. 너가 몇 년생이지?
So he's 2004.
I thought you said like 2019. 어?
it's just
아,
born.
얘가 제일 얘가 제일 어리구나. 2004년생이구나. 99년 형이야, 형 5살.
So yeah, something like that.
mid or mid 20s.
Something.
그렇네. 좋을 때다 진짜.
Maybe.
사모님 목소리
난 근데 한국에 있었어.
어리 젊으신데 무슨-
난 아직도
무슨
내가
얘기예요?
20 같아 진짜. Feel like. 시간 금방 간다 진짜.
Number 15.
For how long did the Egyptian mourn Jacob?
After Jacob died.
How long did the
Yeah.
Egyptian mourn? 아. 근데 미안해. 이게 보여 이렇게 답이. Sorry.
I didn't even.
세븐
Okay, 70 days,
있으니까.
I was gonna say a month.
밑에 와서 여기는 안 보이는데 나도
That's
모르게
fine.
봤어. 세븐이.
종이 적어요 밑에.
Yeah, I think
네.
better to fold it
I don't know what it's
for honesty's sake.
70년 동안이나 이렇게 슬퍼 있어. 근데
Just days.
called.
아 세븐데이.
음. Okay. Now we get to some of the Moses myths.
I watched this play too, so let's see how much.
Right. Joseph, number 1.
Why was Moses hidden among the reeds along the bank of the river Nile? So he could hide his money or something.
Oh, close.
Oh, really?
Close.
Dang.
They're definitely hiding something. Yeah, actually what happened was the Pharaoh was killing all the firstborns who were Jews. So they had to hide him. Otherwise he would die. And that was supposed to be a
Prophecy.
foreshadowing of like what's gonna happen to.
What's going to happen to the family?
Yep. Because Pharaoh had ordered that all Hebrew baby boys should be killed at birth. That's right. And then
Is that answer right? So all Hebrew boys, not the first one.
yeah, all boys. And that's so there could be no insurrection.
Wouldn't that destroy the
The slave class.
indefinitely for in
Yeah.
a single generation?
Right.
Oh wow.
And they're doing that. I know I'm live here, and I'm gonna say the word allegedly here. They're allegedly doing that in not only in America but across the world, using chemicals that turn people or that turn out frogs gay.
Alex Jones.
음.
Good
RFK
man.
Jr. too. So instead of just outright killing people, using chemicals that turn frogs gay.
It's the fluoride in tap water.
Yeah. Okay. Birth of Moses. What was Moses' waterproof basket made out of? Same thing as Noah's Ark, I think. It was like
Mhm.
tar and something. Tar and probably reeds.
I think so.
갈대상자.
Papyrus. Oh.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure they dressed it with tar, though. I'm 100% sure they did.
Mm.
Because papyrus, you didn't just make like a paper boat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Papyrus is like paper or, plant reeds. Let me see here.
Who's next?
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
So look it up.
who discovered the baby among the reeds? I think it was the Pharaoh's wives. I mean, the Pharaoh's daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say the Pharaoh's wife's daughter, but same thing as Pharaoh's
Mhm.
daughter.
Pharaoh's
Like the daughter of the wife of the Pharaoh.
Yes.
I remember the movie, the animated movie.
Yeah.
I think Disney, right?
I don't think it was just
Or
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it was given to the queen, right? Correct?
Not the queen. The Pharaoh's daughter picked him up, and then
Gave it to.
gave it to Moses' mom to take care of.
I thought it was taken to the Pharaoh's family, and then they decided it would be best for. Oh,
That's
it
what the
was done
movie-
in
yeah.
secret.
It wasn't a secret, but
Definitely gave it to the mom, but the mom pretended to be like a caretaker.
yeah. So the mom. So what happened was Miriam went to the Pharaoh's daughter and was like, "Well, I know a Hebrew
Right.
nurse,"
Exactly.
and then she's like, "Oh, you know a Hebrew nurse? Well,
Okay.
bring him over here."
Yeah, I remember that. But
Yeah, with slime and with pitch. Bulrushes, slime and pitch. That means like tar and like waterproof material, and the stuff to like sticky stuff to make the reeds or the papyrus stick together. So yeah, papyrus, Pharaoh's daughter. Yeah, okay. Next, number 4.
why did Moses kill the Egyptian? The Egyptian was. I think was like almost trying to kill
Another
slave.
yeah Hebrew member.
I
Yeah.
remember.
And Moses had that Hebrew identity. It was like, oh, that's my brother. Yeah, because he was beating the Hebrew slave. Mhm.
And the following day.
Oh wait, before we move on, so do you know in the Bible like how Moses killed the guy?
돌로 쳐서 때려서
Oh, 때려서.
그 때려서 죽일 수가 있지.
Yeah, so that's so you guys know Mike Tyson, right? Iron Mike Tyson. He can like KO people in just like one hit.
Mhm.
So whatever like military what do you call it, like exercise or training the Egyptians went through, like it's enough so that if you hit somebody you can kill a man. Yeah. So yeah, he looked this way and that way, and when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hit him in the sand. no weapons.
어,
He just like
갑자기 죽인 거죠.
no, I mean it was premeditated, but
Okay.
Yeah.
The play was a little different.
yeah, there's no weapons. He just slew him. He just like saw if anybody was trying, just like killed him. So it's like what the
What is it? One Punch Man?
yeah, like or something. You know, maybe like choked him to death or something. But like the fact of the matter is, like, you know, he's a slave. Like he's the headmaster of like the slaves that he owned, or that of the pharaoh, and like Moses was able to overpower that guy. You know, so like you're talking about military trained men fighting, and then Moses like basically overcame him.
Did you guys watch Kill Bill?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Moses did the old 5-finger death punch.
I guess so. Yeah,
Dude collapsed. Dude
yeah,
died before he fell.
Lotus, right? Or whoever that guy is, the white Bush.
He's, Gordon. His name is, I think, Gordon.
Yeah,
Chang.
Gordon Liu or something. Gordon
Gordon
Chang,
Liu
something.
or
Yeah,
something like that. He appeared on a lot of kung fu movies.
yeah.
So it was a tribute to him.
When he stood on the sword. You guys remember that? Should have stopped. He stood on the sword. That was funny.
모세가 템퍼 very
Oh, he was very
person이네요. 진짜.
very powerful person. He's so powerful, and we'll get to this, I think, in the next questions. But like, you know, there's all these like people harassing like, you know, some women, and he just like, you know, one man Rambo, get out of here, you know. Okay, so yeah, number 5.
On the following day, who did Moses stop a fighting between? 무슨 말이죠?
So there's people fighting, and Moses stopped them from fighting. Who were they?
다음 날이니까.
다음 날.
네.
아, 히브리 사람들.
Yeah.
응.
2 Hebrew slaves.
So actually, there were people
Yes. Who was
Like-
watching?
who saw
Oh.
the
Yeah.
murder.
Or at least, even if they didn't see it, you know, Moses didn't bury the body very well,
어.
and they, you know, because they're slaves, so they're constantly digging, right? So,
그럴 수 있겠네.
number 6.
True or false?
Moses ran away from Pharaoh and fled to Jerusalem. I'll say false.
Yeah, false. It's a trick question because they're trying to give you like keywords as if like, you know. Yeah, he went to
Not Jerusalem.
yeah, like some sort of a mountain.
음.
I forgot what it's called though.
Field or?
Maybe Midian or something.
음. 미디안 거.
Oh yeah, I was right. Moses fled to Midian. Exodus
Yeah.
2:15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Especially not Jews.
Burning bush. Fill in the missing words. I'm the God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's easy. Oh,
땡.
so here's the thing. I'm right. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm 100% sure with that. But so here's the Moses myth. Did you know Moses didn't see a burning bush?
I don't know that.
Moses actually saw a not burning bush because the bush wasn't burning. So there was a bush and there was fire on top of it, but it wasn't burning.
Mm.
That's what Moses saw. Which is why he's like, what's going on? He was like, let me turn aside now and see what's going on. You know?
I feel
So
like if I saw the same thing, I would still call it a burning bush, even if it's not getting consumed.
no, but so imagine if there was like have you seen like wood burn?
Yeah.
You know how like the wood itself sort of like the fire itself contains the wood inside of it, and then there's like a shape that's around it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
음.
But it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's just like a glowing fire, and the thing is like not glowing at all. Like the bush is not glowing. It's the fire that's glowing. You know what I mean?
Isn't the what are the headers called? So say there's a chapter, right? The verses are split into maybe 5 or 6 verses, and there's a header over each of them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Let's say there's a chapter in a book in the Bible, and they're just verses split up into little groups.
Okay.
What are the headers called? like the italics that says
Like footnotes or something, or
not footnotes.
verses. Wait, so
Reference?
it's by the book chapter.
No,
so
that's
within the chapter he says there's verses, right? But within one verse, let's say it's like 5 parts or something.
oh no, not one verse. So the chapter itself is
Oh,
split
sometimes-
into, and then sometimes there's a little title.
Oh,
Oh yeah, okay. It has like an intro. Like Psalms has one. Like this is
Oh, not
David's
like,
so and so.
not a
he's
little.
talking about like the NSAB or NSAB. It has like like verses 1 through whatever it is Moses' death or something like that.
Yeah,
Like, there's
because
a-
I asked because
title.
I think I remember
Yeah, okay.
a burning bush or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah. So they say burning bush because it's like the tradition that we've received. But if you think about what Moses saw, it's a unburning bush.
Yeah, it's a bush that was on fire, but it wasn't burning.
Yeah, because in other words, like when you, and this is important because Moses has been in the wilderness for like 40 years now, so he knows what burning wood looks like. You know what I mean? Because he has to do that every night, otherwise he freezes. So he knows what burning wood looks like. But then when he saw the bush, he saw the fire, but the bush was just not glowing. It was like just the regular bush shape without like the fire. Because like it turns like orangish and like
Yes,
Ashy
because
and
the
stuff.
fire will catch.
Yeah.
The fire will eventually engulf.
Yeah, so this just so it's thought experiment. Next time we have like something like campfire or like what I'm talking about. When we have that, try to imagine the wood not that color, like the original color, and just the fire on it. Try to imagine that because that's what Moses saw. It's just you see the fire, but it's not turning any colors for like a long time. Yeah.
So is the wording a burning bush or the bush on fire?
It's very misleading because the point of the
is it important? Is it or is it just
It's-
semantics?
it's important because the reason why the unburning bush is important is the point that God is showing to Moses is fire needs fuel, right? But for some miraculous reason, this fire doesn't need fuel. It just exists. And what God is doing is He's showing His, and this is very so. Exodus, when God meets with Moses, He gives out His name. God says to Moses, "My name is Yah," or Jah, right? And He says that means I am that I am. So it's as He's giving out His name, He's showing what that means, which is He's a presence, and it's supposed to be a consuming presence, right? Because the fire consumes things, it eats things up, and then it causes it to turn into ashes. So that's the presence of God, but it doesn't do that. It just stays there. It's with the bush, but it doesn't consume the bush. It just causes the bush to light up. So it's a natural, like a image. You could say what is it called? A parallel? Not parallel.
Paradox.
Like a metaphor or something. You know what I'm talking about? It's a metaphor for who God is. What God wants to do is He wants to be with Moses, and then through Moses, He wants to preach the gospel to the Israelites of salvation, and then He wants to be with the people of Israel. So that's God's goal, as a consuming fire to be with the Israelites. But that consuming fire will not consume Israel. You see, and that's what He's trying to show to Moses.
Wait, that consuming fire will not consume
Israel.
which is not good.
Which is good
Because fire is good.
because if God consumed Israel, like the people would be,
It'll burn up.
yeah, they would die in their sins.
Mhm.
And God is saying, I don't want to do that. So He's trying to show Moses like His intention with not only Moses but with like all of Israel. Like, this is my intention to be with you guys, and you guys, for you guys to be in my holy presence. And we'll get to this way later when we talk about like the why the temple presence is important. The temple presence is important because God promises resurrection, and that resurrection only happens inside of God's holy presence. You have to be in God's presence for the resurrection to happen. That's why it's like,
Next question is kind of
Yeah.
leading to that.
and so yeah, the unburning bush is very important because it's showing it's like through like a metaphor, a natural metaphor. He's showing Moses like, this is the kind of God I am. I'm a holy God and I'm supposed to consume you, but I'm not. And then on the second hand, God doesn't need, the fire doesn't need the bush to exist, right? So God is saying, I don't need you to exist, but I'm willing to be with you.
I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's what God is showing. So it's like this multi-level thing. That's why so it's not just semantics. It's like if we understand it's an unburning bush, then we start questioning like, well, why is God showing an unburning bush? Right. Whereas if we go burning bush, we already set a mind trap because we're like, well, what's so special about a burning bush? Well, nothing special about a burning bush. Like that's what fire does. The fact that the fire doesn't consume is what's important.
Because it needs to consume through
Constantly, yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
That's what fireplace is, right?
Right.
Fire dies if the wood stops. If the wood.
Hi,
in the
everybody who's
stove
watching.
Is,
Yeah.
Like a fireplace. That's
Yeah.
what you really have to keep feeding the wood.
Or even the wildfires,
You need the trees.
Yeah. And God is saying, I don't need you. That's the first thing. I don't need you. And the second thing is, even though I'm a consuming fire, my desire is to be with you without consuming you. And then if you understand that, that's why God tells Moses to build the temple. The whole point of the temple is for God to dwell with us. And this is why in Revelation, there is no temple. There's no physical temple because it says Jesus Christ is the temple. Because our union with Jesus Christ is what allows us to be in God's presence and be in that resurrected, sacred space
Without dying.
without being consumed. So like so it's like this little unburning bush like thing is a seed for like a whole theology like later on. Yeah, it's just we don't pick up on it because we keep thinking about it as like a burning bush. Well, there's nothing special about that. Yeah. So yeah, number 8.
True or false? Moses saw that the bush was on fire, but it did not burn up. True.
Mm-hmm. Next question.
When Moses heard the Lord speaking to him and saw the burning bush, why did he hide his face? God told him that his holy presence is gonna kill him.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that Israelites have, like you can say, a conscience about God is God's presence is a consuming presence. Oh, and that's the other thing too. We're not. So these are question and answer about the facts. So it's never going to ask about the psychology of Moses. Did you know that burning bush thing was like seared into Moses' mind forever? Anytime he talks, he always has the burning bush in the back of his mind. And we know this because in Deuteronomy, as he's about to die, he says he's recounting everything he's doing. And he doesn't just say, you shall love the Lord your God. He doesn't just say, he says, you shall love the God of the burning bush, is what he says. So it's like, and he's about to die. So it's like he has it in his mind. And Moses then becomes like an apostle type of person, like a figure, because the apostle Paul has a similar event where he's like the brightness of Jesus Christ appearing him and saying like, Saul, why are you persecuting me, right? That's like seared into his mind. So whenever he talks about the resurrection, he always has that glory of Jesus Christ in his mind, and it's like that bright, causing his blindness glory where he saw the body of Jesus Christ and he's thinking like, that's the kind of body we're going to be resurrected to. So that like drives his theology. Anyway, next question. Yeah.
10? 뭐죠? What relation of Moses did the Lord provide to speak for Moses to the Israelites? What relation?
Oh, sorry. Why did he hide his face? Yeah, because it was holy.
The answer is a little different, but because Moses was afraid to look at God.
Right. It's because of God's holy presence. If you hear God's voice or if you see the presence of God, you die. That was the theology that the Israelites knew about God at that time.
But didn't God tell them to hide your face? Because
He said, take off your shoes. The hiding your face is like,
when did he say that? Because you're gonna die or something. Oh no, I guess that was Moses.
yeah, that wasn't Moses.
잘 모르겠어요. 10번 답이요.
Is this like what relation of Moses did the Lord provide to speak to Moses? So is it what relation?
제사장.
Relative?
No, not yet, not yet.
Is it Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron. He's gonna be like Moses' prophet. So Moses is
미디에이터. 아닌가?
no, Aaron is his prophet.
오케이.
Aaron is his prophet. So Moses would be then to the Egyptians. Moses would be
첫 번째 스펠링이 뭐지?
capital, small case G.
G?
What relation of God and Moses did the Lord provide?
I mean,
I
if I'm
thought this
just
was a
right.
cousin.
I don't understand the question.
퀘스천 너무 어려워.
What do you mean, what relation?
Oh, relation.
Isn't that
Family
cousin?
member. Family
Oh
member.
yeah.
Which family members did God put with Moses?
Is it a cousin?
형.
Oh,
그거.
Aaron.
Aaron, right? I don't.
Like brother or cousin?
알겠다.
Older brother.
his brother 에론. 모세가 말을 잘 못하니까 에론이 말을 잘하니까 그렇게 시킨
So
거죠.
his parents had Aaron before Moses. How did they hide Aaron?
So it's like the order was to kill newborn babies.
Good question.
And then he also had Miriam too, because Miriam followed Moses down the river. So, but Miriam's a woman, so she didn't need to be killed. But see, if I say that here, people might misunderstand me for saying like, "Are you saying women are different than men?" No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in Exodus, the order was to kill firstborn males. That's all I'm saying.
But Aaron is the older brother.
Mhm.
So you're saying he was already a kid?
He was already like probably 9 or 10 by the time Moses was born.
Wait, the order was to kill firstborn males, or
No,
just
just
all,
just all
yeah,
newborn.
Just all newborn,
Newborn,
males.
yeah.
Not newborn women.
Yeah.
Girls.
Okay, Joseph.
What was the first plane?
Oh no!
Are the locusts or the frogs?
I'm gonna say river into blood. I think that was the first one. Think.
Let me try to think.
Yeah, even I'm rusty even on this one. This is like
So the,
because there was 10 for
Frogs
sure.
were definitely not first.
Yeah, frogs were not
So,
first.
yeah.
blood definitely wasn't either. I think.
That's what I mean.
The,
I don't know.
is the skin
I just remember it's
condition-
the most forefront in my mind. The river turning to blood, and that's from the Ten Commandment movie where you think magic's gonna get to us, and then he pours the in the thing, and then like it turns to blood. And they're like, what the right?
Mhm.
I just remember it being like
It's either the blood or the locust.
Mm.
If I
Or
recall.
the snake.
or the snake.
'Cause I thought the staff turning to snake was the first one.
Well,
Was
I
it
don't know if
like
that was a
the-
plague. I think
Yes.
that might be just like a sign.
That was just a sign. Yeah.
'Cause I mean to say the blood, the water turning to blood. That was definitely not the first trick.
Miracle or something, right?
I
Yeah.
don't recall that being because I'm like thinking about
Right.
the order. I'm gonna go with locust.
I'm gonna go with the blood. I just remember Ten Commandments. It was like so vivid. Everything else was just like
Go
maybe
with-
the fire hail was another one.
Blood comes later.
Right.
Well, based on my recollection. What is it?
Place our bets.
I looked at the answer.
What is it?
Blood.
Yeah, the river of blood, right? Or
Oh,
some kind of
yeah.
blood, right?
Nice.
I remember the most recognizable.
Yeah, plague of blood first, right?
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Charles Heston.
괜찮아요?
Yeah, not Charles Heston. What's that guy's name? The bald guy. He played the Egyptian pharaoh.
He turns it into blood first.
I think so.
Mm.
자기야 기독교 만나주잖아. 시간.
Oh yeah. Any prayer requests?
꾸고야.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let's do one more question. One more question. Yeah, as the result of the second plague, what would Pharaoh find in his ovens and kneading troughs? Second plague. Frogs, maybe? Frogs or lice?
Definitely,
Frogs, lice, or flies. One of those three.
Definitely bugs.
Right. So flies and
I think frogs came out of the Nile, not troughs and ovens.
Right. But it says the
Some
second
sort
plague
of,
though.
Some sort of bug.
I'm gonna say frogs. I'm gonna say frogs. No, frogs might be third.
메뚜기.
Yeah, it might be locust number 2. Because there's flies, locusts, and lice for the bugs. So that's a 3-in-1 chance versus frog, which is 1.
I'm gonna wager lice.
Yeah, I'm gonna say locust then. Locust.
나도.
Locust.
It's frogs.
Oh!
Oh,
아 뭐야.
Oh! It was frogs.
Because if you read the question,
mhm.
it's locusts is unlikely, right?
Oh, is it?
In his ovens, how can locusts get into the oven?
Mm.
always
I mean,
thought
it
the
can,
frogs,
right? Because it's,
came out of the Nile.
Because their ovens is not like our ovens, right?
Oh, it doesn't have doors and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just a fireplace and you just cook stuff on top of it.
오븐에 들어갔다고 소고기가?
Yeah.
징그러. 왜?
I remember there was just too many coming out. That was the point. I think that was the plague. Is like frogs kept coming out until like there was no place to step on, without frogs. So it's like on tables and it just got on like everything. And we don't even know if it was like the mushroom kind of frog,
No,
Yeah.
no frog.
getting high and stuff just by being around it. You never know. You know what I mean?
Or the ones that kill you
Yeah.
just by touching.
Right.
Like the red ones.
Right.
the yellow
Okay.
ones.
So yeah, thank you for joining us. And yeah, any prayer request?